What's up, guys? Kevin Cage here. If you like what you see, be sure to like and subscribe, and let's get right into it. So just so you know, I want to preface this video just essentially saying I am more bullish than 99% of people. I do not do YouTube videos for fun because I kind of believe in XRP. I'm all in, and I believe in this asset class as a whole. Crypto assets are part of blockchain and DLT, and they will swallow all other asset classes. So just simply imagine what that will do for the finite supply of tokens that we own that essentially govern the entire network. This is why I'm a bull. If you guys think this is hype, go watch another video, because I believe right now, and I know it's funny saying this after a multi-year bear market and XRP sitting under, at 29 cents, under $1 still, which is just unbelievable considering that we've already done what, $1.4 billion in transaction flow specifically utilizing XRP. If you do not believe in the future of this asset, go buy some other altcoins, but XRP is part of my portfolio, and until I see otherwise, I'm not changing my mind, and I wholeheartedly do expect that we will finally blow past $10 per XRP in 2021. And if that valuation is even a little high in your opinion, I don't know what to tell you. I think that even though these assets have been so suppressed, I know what is coming. I understand the partners across the board. We understand that Ripple moved their regional headquarters. They're preparing to IPO next year alongside many other groups. We have banks accumulating more crypto assets, but also manipulating people into this market, and then also launching crypto custody services. This is simply the future. If you've watched my videos for the past 2 years, 3 years, highly recommend just going back and then looking at how far we've come. You cannot look at the current price and say, oh, maybe I'm wrong. No, stick to the fundamentals. Now, I'm playing the long game in this asset class. I didn't come here for 100% return or 200% return. I could do that in the stock market. I am here for thousands of percent. And this is not hype, because I literally understand what is at play here. And I think many of you do too. So let's get right into it. Right here. And whether you believe that XRP will just do one more little dip before taking off, all of us are bullish long-term in this asset class. The charts do not lie with these long-term targets. And if I am ever shorting an asset, it's simply because I'm trying to improve my position. I've shown you guys how percentage returns can work in your favor, where every penny counts for me. If it's a $10,000 purchase or a $100,000 purchase, it makes a huge difference down the line. And you know what? You should just respect everybody's opinion, because at the end of the day, we are all our own just financial advisors and have to do what's best for us at that time. All right. So I respect your point of view, whether you're bullish, bearish. I'm just ready to take off already. It has been a difficult year for us all. All right. And that's an understatement. So right here, DLocal is a Ripple partner. We know that they partner with Microsoft to reach new customers in emerging markets, the key market, and launch in Nigeria. We also know, of course, Microsoft runs a validator on the XRP ledger. We know Microsoft Azure, we know AWS are obviously partnered with, Ripple. No surprise, same thing with the XRP ledger, just like many blockchain projects. It doesn't take much to do that, but it is nonetheless exciting. Now, DLocal is starting to really scale up, just like many RippleNet partners like Neum, like BTech out of Brazil, what is it, ACI Worldwide, eBanks, like even indirect partners are starting to scale up. This is a good thing. We know XRP's already done $1 billion plus in transaction flow, and the ground floor will eventually be rising. All right. So right here, DLocal, cross-border payment platform connecting global merchants to emerging markets, has announced it's teamed up with Microsoft. So we're focusing on this. And we also know DLocal is expanding throughout LATAM, just the Latin America region, and then also all throughout Asia. So we'll keep going here. We know right here, highlighted, this is back in 2017. They joined Ripple when they only had 100 clients. And then also right here, DLocal adds WeChat Pay, Alipay, and Union Pay. Now, just to give a little background, super light, and I know probably 99% of you know this, I still want to give this basic information. I'm not acting like this is some arcane secret knowledge. I'm just putting it out there because there are new people coming to the space each and every day, and I want to respect where they're at as well. So we can understand there's trillions of dollars at play. We understand the year-over-year growth for even e-commerce has been exploding. Right here, cross-border e-commerce in China reached nearly $40 billion in 2015. All right, so we know these guys are connected, and we talk about MasterCard and Visa. Well, who's bigger than them? Union Pay. They are much bigger. They are the largest card payment organization, debit and credit cards combined, in the world, offering mobile and online payments based on total value of payment transactions, ahead of Visa and MasterCard. And I don't care if you think, oh, Kevin, China, Alipay, all these networks will never use XRP. That's fine. What I'm saying is that this value is going to be digitized, and it will be it will be open to interoperability, where this money can transact somehow. So keep an open mind regarding that. Now, we also talked about Right here, Alipay and WeChat Pay. Well, who are the behemoths behind them? We know Tencent and we know Ant. There's no question these guys are absolutely massive. We also have other connections like Standard Chartered connected to Alipay as well, which is an early Ripple investor and a RippleNet user. So there sure are a lot of coincidences. Whether you believe in the future of this network, guys, I would have to do, 8 hours of video to even make my point across. I'm just trying to get something out short and sweet to let you know and start digging deeper here. So we know Alipay, the parent Ant Financial, Jack Ma, one of the biggest IPOs to date in history right now out of China is coming from Ant. We're talking hundreds of billions of dollars, guys. This, in some way, can be a threat to the United States. So they have to act now. We know there is a digital Cold War going on, or at least the narrative of such. So believe what you wish, and I'll do the same. But we have to talk about this. Alipay is one of the largest mobile networks in the world, over 1 billion users. Well, guess who else has over 1 billion users? WeChat. No surprise, 1 billion monthly active users, and behind them, Tencent. Now, I know we've done some connections with Tencent and Ripple and RippleNet partners. Should be no surprise. Just like all these behemoths, they are connected, integrated partners, so to speak, in some way. So it's not crazy to think that. And I just want to show you the interoperability and push towards digitalization. Right here, Tencent uses tech to enrich lives of internet users. We can go on and on about this. Keep an eye on them. Just another behemoth. Now, let me see if I'm missing anything here. Dlocal, I put this thread out. WeChat and WeChat. Alipay, and WeChat have 1 billion plus users each. We know parents Ant Financial and Tencent. Let me see if I missed anything here really quick. So they're launching, I'm just watching what Dlocal's doing, and it also reminds me of Currency Cloud, another big partner that is scaling across the globe. Now, I also have some other information I want to talk about, because I really do believe, and I'm not trying to be Riddler-like or take credit for anything. I'm just using basic logic and, some speculation in a speculative market, but I think that London will play a central role in this market as well. All right. Remember, UnionPay, much bigger than Visa and MasterCard. We know we are connected to MasterCard and VocaLink and all that with Ripple and, MoneyGram and HomeSend and all those connections that I Am Legion found. But we also know that Visa is straight up connected to Earthport, which is another RippleNet partner. Next, if you guys want to read this, I'm going to put this in the top of the video description. This is on XRPchat.com. Just some additional speculation. If you guys really like the serious dot connecting, it might get you really excited. It might get the other half of you just to roll your eyes and think, this is a stretch. But right here, just understand, just connecting some very interesting connections for Ripple. Peter Thiel, who is the founder of PayPal and was one of his early investments was in Ripple back in the day, of course. We were familiar with even Ryan Fugger talking about all that, talking about Lyft. American Express, of course, is an early RippleNet partner. They've also done that 50-50 joint venture into China with Lian. We know Ripple met with the Central Bank of China in 2017. It's just all right in front of you, right here. Standard Chartered, Ripple. If you guys want to check this out, and then also Cross River, I believe there's an obvious Coinbase connection there, right there. Cross River announced its partnership with Earthport. Earthport announced its partnership and gateway partnership with Ripple in 2015. You guys get it. I'm out of breath. Just understand that there's a lot to this, and I will put this in the top of the video description if you want to read even more about Alipay, UnionPay, Tencent, some of these groups. All right, Stripe. Just understand, this is all or nothing in this market, and the longer we stay at these levels, like these low prices, it will scare people out, and people will give up, and they're going to go chase Bitcoin and other gains. And it's laughable to me because I didn't come this far to only come this far. And I remember, I think it was like 2017, maybe early 2018. It was during the second big bull run. This girl I knew, she bought $100 of Bitcoin at roughly probably the all-time high, maybe around this price. And then she sold it out of fear for like $40. So she bought $100, sold it at $40, lost $60. Of course, Coinbase had fees, and so much for long term. And, people are going to be asking you about crypto more and more. The holiday talks are going to be interesting. FOMO, fear of missing out, is going to be a real thing. Just understand that we have to wait, let prices come to us. And if you bought enough at the base or have been dollar cost averaging, you shouldn't be FOMOing at these prices. You should be able to set and forget and just be excited and know what is to come. All right. So I just want my long-term bag of alts to just explode. I've been impatiently waiting for years and years and years in doing this research, and I wholeheartedly believe it will take off. It's not a question of if, it is just a question of when. All right. Ooh, so this is really cool, and hopefully you guys stick with me through this video. If you already know the delocale stuff, no worries, but please pay attention to this. So we talked about Union Pay. Now let's talk a little bit about Visa. So we have X_Anderson, definite follow, sharing this with Visa and settlements, which is the keyword. Why? Because we don't care about messaging. We care about settlement, which is what XRP can do, and that is the foundation of the payment stack. We can own parts of the protocol that govern the new financial system, whether it is a small part or a big part. All right? So Accenture, one of early Ripple investors doing the digital dollar project, buddies with the former CFTC chairman, you know the connections. They're innovating even the RTGS systems of the globe, such as Bank of England, a paid RippleNet customer. Right here. Most importantly, the other part of the answer is, or to interoperability, lies in settlement. And this is where I get excited. Settle payments between banks across borders. In the cards world, the international card schemes achieve this with ease. For example, a Visa card, right here, to be used to purchase from a merchant in Singapore, another friendly jurisdiction, because Visa provides a mechanism for the issuer's bank in Germany to settle with the merchant's bank in Singapore. Settlement is in fact the bigger of the two challenges in a cross-border interoperability of real-time payment systems. Uniformity of messages and rules through a standard such as ISO 222 or 20022 is important and achievable, but it is settlement and interoperability that will be most difficult for RTP systems to crack. And keep in mind, we have systems already built through a single API and software plugin. You're good to go with RippleNet. We already know it is cloud accessible. A $10 billion company that has a war chest ready to scale and has some of the investors of Accenture doing this, and they're working and teaming up with all these guys. CGI, Accenture. We could talk about Volante, ACI Worldwide. These are companies that are doing trillions of dollars per day. Even Volante right there with Volpay and the Ripple processor does $2 trillion per day. It's not crazy to think that XRP will be a means to transfer some of that value. And that is why I'm in this space, because I've seen too much and I cannot turn my back on this. All right? So very keywords. And then let's keep going here. So this is the actual link here, bankingblog.accenture.com, if you guys want to read about it. And remember, Ripple's the only DLT blockchain company that's focused on this ISO 20022 governing body. It is not a coincidence. It almost seems like the more I go down this rabbit hole, that Ripple was the chosen one all along to basically provide settlement and update this 40-year-old correspondent banking model. And Swift is just the messaging, part or portion. All right. Next, just to touch on this. So $35 billion wealth management giant giving clients access to Bitcoin. Again, just another example. We know custody. We know they're allowing it. We know PayPal, Venmo, all these groups are basically just allowing it. So the border or the barriers to entry are getting lower for all crypto assets. The higher Bitcoin goes, why do I get excited? Because that's the higher the crypto market becomes valued. And once we are in the trillions of dollars, hopefully way before that, regulators are finally going to get up and start giving us clarity on XRP and other assets. And once we have the rules of the road, we can freaking fly. And that is literally my thought. That's how I see it. And that's even how I've heard other, regulators say that. Okay? Like Chris Larson, I'm talking people that are worth billions of dollars that know what they're talking about. Okay? We'll keep going. All right, and we're going to finish up almost here, guys. So Anders X_Anderson talking about this, and I just want to reference this link. I know I did a tweet showing this maybe a couple months ago. RippleNet, of course, the software of Ripple with XRP, Santander, and American Express. Now, Amex is an early RippleNet partner. We already have their connections in China. Now, right here, and this is old, from 3 years ago, we're taking a huge step forward with Amex and Santander in solving the problems corporate customers experience with global payments. Transfers that used to take days will be completed in real time, allowing money to move as fast as business today. Garlinghouse said in the statement, CEO of Ripple. Both Amex and Santander suggested the blockchain project could eventually be extended worldwide. Now, I want to go right here. Amex, Santander team up with Ripple. This is back in 2017, November 16th, so almost exactly 3 years ago. We have right here. Ripple said that its cryptocurrency, XRP, will come into play as a means of speeding up payments later on down the line. Yet, we are still waiting for regulation. Volumes are starting to grow. They're not waiting anymore. They understand that this tide is coming. And remember, a tide will raise all boats, or help all boats rise, And what I want is I want to find the best freaking boat, such as the best assets to ride, and I want to find the best part of the wave so I properly can maximize my profits and minimize my losses. All right. And just understand, this is taking longer than they anticipated. I didn't see a global pandemic coming. I didn't see lockdowns. I didn't see, accusations of, voting fraud. I didn't see, that early on stuff in January with the Middle East. And there's just been so many things that I've never seen coming. And I still see all this endgame occurring, meaning crypto moons, potentially negative interest rates. Federal Reserve is trying to play the blame game. There's just too much, guys. All right. And even if you think I'm a little off on some things, I'm certain that you agree with some things. Right here, finish things off, and this is basically an Anders L video. The UK is the biggest Forex, foreign exchange market, trading market in the world by far, accounting for 43% of the global volume. The United States accounts for only 16.5% of the volume. Now keep in mind, this is a market that processes $6 trillion per day. Now what's the most important is this. The biggest geographic region trading center is the UK, primarily London. Well, who is in London? We have a Ripple office there. We have an R3 office there. We have a lot of big players there. And something is going on, and I think that we have to pay attention to this. Not even trying to be conspiratorial. I just see that this asset class is going to explode. Now, the question is, do we explode right now? Or is there a little more manipulation? We wait just a little bit longer and then take off for good. And last but not least, guys, if you expect that the crypto market will grow significantly in the future, having crypto assets and even gold and silver in your Roth IRA means that all of your gains in your account will grow 100% tax-free. And I just don't believe that people comprehend what that really means. And I don't know about you, but I plan to withdraw some of my millions completely tax-free rather than paying long-term or even short-term capital gains of 15% or 35%, depending where you are, which could be equivalent to hundreds of thousands of dollars going down the drain. So I'm a little pickier. I'm cheap. I like to make my money work for me. Links are in the video description. I definitely recommend exploring this option at the very least, because right now, while the market is low, people don't really do this. They're only going to start FOMOing into iTrustCapital when the market starts going up. And that's not the way to do it. Remember, we want to buy low, sell high. So those of you that are taking action now, I know that I've gotten some great feedback thus far. I have an IRA with these guys. I only recommend services that I personally utilize, and I'm very excited. They're also adding Chainlink. They're also adding XLM in the future. We have gold available, precious metals. Be sure to check this out. So I'll see you in the next one.